This is the Riot, and guess who just got disconnected from the server? So he's still not entirely sure what's in the podcast today.
Hey, we can remember most of it.
The big one is Jeremy from Tiger Drive.
It was so nice to catch up with him. He's got some amazing Christmas and January plans.
He does.
So enjoy him in the podcast. And don't forget to go to riot.radiou.com. You'll find our Facebook page and our YouTube channel there because just like our other interviews, you can watch him. So once you're done with the podcast, head over there and take a look at the studio and see what Jeremy looks like.
Inside the podcast, we also talk about the KFC Yule log.
We do. A lot of people sent us that Yule log.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody who did that. Remember, you can always reach out to us, social media, email, whatever. Find links to all of that through riot.radiou.com. We also find out why we're having such a hard time keeping up on all of the TV shows. And you're like, what do you mean? No, trust me. We've got numbers
that go with it.
We've got numbers that'll blow your mind.
It's just fascinating to show how TV has evolved. So
it's crazy.
And changed.
And the other thing that you definitely want to make sure you get into today is hearing Nikki and I give our very authoritative, unquestionably scientifically researched look into Swedish heart attacks.
Doctor.
Trust me.
We are who you're going to come to for all your medical advice in the future.
You're going to love it.
I'm worried.
I know you will. So you guys enjoy, and we'll see you later.
Depending on when you're listening to this, have a wonderful weekend. And as we get closer to Christmas, if you're a fan of the Riot, then hopefully you're a fan of RadioU. And if you're a fan of RadioU, you want to get some RadioU merchandise for Christmas. If you'd like it shipped in time to hopefully get to you by Christmas, we're saying this Sunday. So go to shop.radiou.com if you want to see what we have.
It is the Riot.
Bye.
Bye.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So, I was up a little earlier than normal today.
Sure.
And was here at the station pretty early this morning. And so as a result,
So excited to start the day.
Really, I couldn't stand not being here.
We know that feeling.
As a result, I found myself needing food at about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if you're looking for food at 3 a.m. and you want something warm, you can just go ahead and forget about that.
Well, outside of like McDonald's, but...
Okay. The McDonald's that's supposed to be open 24 hours.
They're not always.
They weren't open.
They're not always.
When they say they're open 24 hours, they mean hopefully.
If they
Probably.
Honestly, I think it feels like if they have the crew to be open at that time, or what about like, is it Steak and Shake over there?
Oh, let me tell you what.
Is that even less crew?
I have tried to get Steak and Shake in the middle of the night or what was today my morning so many times.
Doesn't work.
That I have quit even trying. There's no point in going to Steak and Shake with the attitude anywhere between the hours of, I think, like 1 and 6, maybe even 7. If you think you're going there to get food, your optimism far outstretches mine.
Well, it's a refreshing optimism. It might be wrong, but it's nice.
I've tried to eat Steak and Shake so many times in the morning. There's just no point.
Well, then there's nothing else near us.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I went to Walmart.
Yeah.
The 3 a.m. Walmart crowd is fascinating because I'll just tell you right now, there's way more people in there than you think there should be. And they're not all stocking shelves. They're shopping. And I was just amazed at, like, there are people straight up grocery shopping. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, you know, who am I to judge? I'm there shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning, too.
They could work different shifts. You know?
They totally could. It was
be
just
their daytime.
You know, you expected there not to be anybody. And so there was quite a few people. And I'll tell you this, though. Like, if you have any Christmas shopping to do, don't go after work. Don't go after class. Stay up late, get up early, go to Walmart at 3 a.m. You could not ask for a better time to be shopping. Yes, there are other people in there, but not like you think. It's not
like daytime time.
I didn't have to. There was only one checkout line, but I didn't have to wait in line.
Did you get breakfast then?
Well, I went to the frozen food section and purchased a Jimmy Dean Light Bowl, which I know what you're thinking, like, why are you watching your weight? No, listen, it's egg whites, turkey sausage, potatoes. I actually prefer it to their standard bowl. I think it's delicious. And so I picked up one of those, Nikki, and that was $2.38.
Look at that, you bargain breakfast person, you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Should have grabbed a couple, stuck them in the break room.
I thought about it.
Didn't follow through with it, though?
No,
or no,
I didn't.
Just got the one. That's fine.
Yeah, so I'm going to get some more coffee. I'm going to go lick the bottom of that bowl. And,
His breakfast bowl.
we'll call it Friday. No big deal.
If Nikki sounds a little bored this morning, it's because Obadiah is still talking.
Too much talking.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Talking.
I got to tell you, Nikki and I still have not found anybody to sue, and it's putting such a cramp in my financial future.
I know one day you're going to find an establishment or someone that you can sue or be a part of a lawsuit of some sorts that'll bring you all the money.
Yeah. So what I'm looking
You just stay faithful with that, okay? Stay
I'm on the
strong,
lookout. That's
and
right.
it'll happen. Your day will come.
You know what you got to do? You got to keep your eyes open, and then when the time comes, you grab it with both hands, you hold on tight.
And you just go for it.
Or in this case, your pinky gets stuck and you can't let go.
Oh, is this the guy on the airplane?
Yeah, his name
This is weird.
It is a weird one. His name is Stephen Keys. He's an actor. He's a pretty big dude. And that's probably if you look at here's a scene from him in Ugly Betty, and he was on How I Met Your Mother, and he's just a big dude. A lot of times he plays a
tall, big
bouncer
character,
or
yeah.
a bodyguard, or somebody that's physically intimidating. So he's on this American Airlines flight in which he attempts to put up I'm sorry, I said American Airlines. It's SkyWest. He was on a SkyWest flight in which he's trying to put up the armrest. Here's the part that I really sincerely don't understand. His pinky got stuck in the armrest.
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't either. I'm sure it happened.
Now, sometimes, does he mean when some armrests have the little flap or whatever, or, the little thing that comes up, or what does he mean?
Here's the quote from the story. His pinky finger got stuck in the hole of an armrest.
What's the hole of an armrest?
What is the hole?
I don't know. Maybe
I've been
in the
on
back.
a plane lots of times, but I've never seen the hole.
We never touched the armrest. So maybe that's it. Do you ever bring the armrest down? Well, if I'm traveling with someone that I know, then it's fine.
Yeah, if you're with somebody the armrest absolutely goes up. But if you're traveling alone,
with
then
a
no.
stranger, then yes, it goes down.
Because danger, right?
Absolutely. So his pinky got stuck for a good portion of the flight.
Said he was unable to get it out of the hole for the entire flight. The airline employees, several of the flight attendants came over. They were trying to help him. They couldn't. And so he just had to wait. And then they ended up having to bring in a mechanic.
Had to cut it out.
Had to take the seat apart. And yeah, so he says that he was left in pain and humiliated as other passengers watched him struggle. And he was stuck there. And so he's suing the airline for that.
Now, does it say in the article when that happened?
What do you mean?
Well, I just never like these ones where they're 2 years ago, I had my pinky stuck. Was it a long time ago, or was this recent when he had his pinky stuck? Because it seems like for lawsuits, they wait so long, and I don't know why.
Well, maybe it took him September. There we go. I got it. So that's 3 months, but Nikki,
that's quality time to be contacting the airline. So that is perfectly fine.
What ends up happening is you get lawyered up. Then your lawyer contacts the airline, and then there's a meeting.
Game.
And then it's let's see if we can get a settlement. And then you're not happy with the settlement, and then you threaten going to court, and then you do, and things happen that way.
As long as they didn't come back after them saying, hey, well, we had to take apart this seat because of you.
Yeah, so he says that, let me read you some of the lawsuit. It says, the spring mechanism embedded inside of the hole in the armrest.
I want to Google now an armchair in it. I can't tell.
Inside of the hole in the armrest applied intense pressure to plaintiff's finger, immediately inflicting injury, swelling, and pain. Dozens of passengers became aware of Mr. Key's perilous condition, causing his dire situation to become humiliating and a public spectacle.
Oh, well, that is unfair, but that's the whole plane ride for everybody, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Humiliating, a spectacle.
Come on.
Who hasn't?
That's real.
So I think he should understand that.
Though, you know what? Okay, I'm sure it probably hurt. Though I will tell you, if you told me, all right, put your finger in there on the plane for an hour,
the whole
it's going to
time.
hurt for an hour, but we're going to get you a few 100,000 or maybe even $1 million. I'd be like, you know what? I can do this. Here it is. Nikki just stuck her pinky out after.
Take it. You can have my pinky.
There it is.
Actually, you can have them both.
No, I still want one.
Well, as long as they're not off, it's
I'll
fine.
tell you what. Yeah, I want to keep them. But if you're telling me they're going to hurt for an hour, tell me.
Someone sent us the picture of the armrest
I
with
want
a
to see
hole
it.
in it.
I want to see it.
Hey, whatever
Dang it,
your
I don't
name
have
is.
the texting software open.
Thank you for texting us a picture. Please text us back what your name is. But he sent it, and it even includes an arrow. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
There's
okay.
the hole.
How did he get his finger stuck in there?
I don't know. That's something he'll have to explain more.
Says,
Brandon,
it's
thank you
Brandon.
for texting. See, we didn't have to look ourselves.
What?
I don't know how he did it. Don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to have to prove that in court because the judge is going to be like, what?
How did you get your finger in there?
Turn it up loud enough and your neighbors will call the cops. Because it's obviously a cry for help. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So many people yesterday texted, hit me up on Twitter, also sent it through Facebook, but I have to give the credit first and foremost to my uncle who texted me about this yesterday. He was the first.
Yeah.
He was
but
not the last.
in the line of many.
Yeah, but did you see what KFC is going to be doing this holiday season?
The KFC, is it a Yule log or a chicken log?
It's basically a fire starter log, I
Yeah.
believe, but it smells like fried chicken.
Seems to be just about right for KFC.
So you buy one of these things. It's supposed to last in the fire for 2.5 to 3 hours.
And it spreads the spices that you're familiar with from KFC for their chicken throughout the air.
I think that sounds awful.
So it's actually made by a fire starter, like a log company.
Envirolog is the company that makes
it's
it.
100% recyclable materials, and then your house will smell like crispy fried chicken.
Here's what I don't like about it. When's the last time you made bacon at home? You really like fried up like a pound of bacon. And of course it smells delicious when you eat it, but
At
you fry up your pound of bacon and then you leave. And then you come back like a couple of hours later and you're like,
dude, you'd be
Holy
coming back
crap.
2 weeks later and
And
you're
it still
still
smells like
smelling
bacon,
it. But this could be great. Like crispy fried chicken. In my head, this smells great.
I don't know. But I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's going to linger in a way that's going to make you go, oh, gosh.
It'd be too much.
I feel like this is more, we went to the pizza buffet and came back and everyone stinks like pizza.
Yes, that does happen.
It's weird how we go to this pizza buffet and it's not you think it's like, oh, it'll be a good smell because pizza smells good.
No, it's not.
There's something stank about the smell when you come back.
There was a sub sandwich place that used to do the subs through the
oven?
the oven thing,
Yeah.
and man, you would stink like that. And you're like, oh yeah, this is great subs, but it's not. It's that oven burnt smell with it.
I feel like you go to KFC, you eat KFC, and it tastes really good, whatever. I feel like this is going to be the smell of, oh gosh, you guys stink like KFC.
And now it's your house that stinks like KFC.
You've smelled up the whole place.
They are going for $18.99 a piece, and
That's a lot.
KFC is limiting the amount, so you can only order one per transaction or per customer. So that's
everybody's gonna
until
want
supplies
one.
run out.
Oh, dude, I'm out. No, I don't. I love fires. I have a fire usually Saturdays and Sundays, as long as it's what I consider to be cold enough. I will build a fire, but I do not want. I want it because the curiosity is almost killing me.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a life hack, and this is cheaper. Go to KFC, grab a bucket of chicken,
And throw it on the fire.
go home, put another chicken on the Barbie, throw it in the fire.
You know what idea I did have, seriously, about this? I thought about my fireplace and my gaming computer not in the same place. I thought about doing an Obadiah Plays live stream where I'm playing a video game and you've got a camera on me, and then I just hook up a second webcam and it's
the
on
camera.
the log, and the log is just burning.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the Riot doesn't have an endorsement deal with Nabisco. They just keep talking about all the new Oreo flavors for free. It's the Riot on Radio U.
We want to say hey to Paul. Okay, I don't understand. It says, hey, my name's Cliff, and then we have his name as Paul.
We might have gotten it wrong.
I love it. He says, I bought a coffee log for my fire pit thinking it would be an awesome coffee smell for hours, but no, it was mainly smoke with a tiny hint of coffee. I can't help but thinking that the KFC log would be the same.
Yeah, but what if Cliff/Paul, it was amazing?
What if it was?
It was really great.
What if it was? I guess we'll just have to spend the $20 to
We'll
find
have to
out.
find out.
We also want to say hey to Jerome. He sent us something that legitimately surprised us.
We had no idea. I have not not even looked yet. I want to be told the details so
Okay.
that we can have this trip together to find out what's going on.
The Grand Tour is an Amazon original. It is a car show, and it's a car show that is made by a bunch of guys that used to make a show called Top Gear.
And that was one of our favorite shows.
It was a favorite.
But then when they became the Grand Tour, it became not quite our favorite show, but we have so many good memories from Top Gear that it was very hard to just turn your back on the Grand Tour, but it was just not as well done.
You are correct, Nikki. And so the Grand Tour basically looked like they were going to get canceled.
They did. They were supposed to do 3 seasons, and then Amazon said that they weren't extending that.
So they made an announcement last night. I'll read you a direct quote from the Grand Tour's Facebook page. All right. It says this: "We're excited to announce that we have renewed the Grand Tour for season 4 and proud that Prime Video will continue to be the home for Jeremy, Richard, and James for years to come. Season 4 will see the guys ditch the tent to take on big adventure road trips."
Thank you.
That we know Prime members love. Well, you know what? I do too. And here's what I love. They say that basically the show is going to stop the tent segments and just be the road trip segments.
Haven't I said that since Top Gear?
Yes.
Even during Top Gear, I hated anything that was inside the tent.
You know what? I was at times interested in watching their interviews.
Well, it was only if it was someone you knew, but they tend to have a lot of British people that you would have no idea who they were.
I don't know. I watched them interview the British transportation minister.
Yeah.
Jeremy Clarkson was so rough on that guy, but what was funny was he was really hard on him, and the transportation minister was like, "Come at me, bro." And he was just like throwing it back at him just as hard. And I was like, "Man, this is a great interview."
But I always liked when they would take the cars and they would go do these extravagant, amazing trips that they would do. So I'm excited. So they're doing a season 4
that will be just that stuff.
Now season 3 is supposed to be in January, which has already been filmed, so it'll be what it is.
And you know what? Great.
I'm excited.
That sounds like, hey, you're getting the feedback, you're doing it. Ditch the other stuff, just do this. I think that's a great idea.
It's a better use of time and a better use of the show.
And money.
And money and talent.
And I think that maybe I should take some time and watch the second season, which I did not watch at all.
I finished it, I think it was in October. I had 3 or 4 episodes left. And mind you, a season is not as many episodes as you might think.
6 or 8 episodes?
I think so. But it was okay to finish up. But I'm more excited about now season 4 with whatever they do.
So we're looking forward to the season. Sending that. We want to watch the season after the season they're getting ready to release.
Well, maybe the 3rd season will be a little better. Maybe, just maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's The Riot on Radio U.
Look, I have a hard time keeping up with all the different shows that are out there. Now, I understand that,
What do we know by that?
I don't know, actually. There's just a lot out there, but it's not just my imagination, Nikki. If you look at, and I love this, FX.
Yeah, the network.
Yeah, they have released this chart that is amazing. It shows that if you go back to 2002, there were, in that year, 182 scripted shows on American television.
So on networks?
So, I can give you a breakdown. For there was 135 on broadcast, 17 on pay cable, 30 on basic cable. That's 2002.
Gotcha.
182.
Was that before Netflix started doing anything?
It was. I don't know what year that Netflix started
their own original series.
2012, yeah. So here I have, in 2018, there were 495.
That's an increase.
495. That is about 2.5 times
of the shows.
The number of shows. Now, granted, they aren't all the same, number of episodes or whatever.
I gotcha.
So, back in the day, you might be 25 episodes. Now you might be 8. But still, think about that for just a minute. 495 shows.
And most of them all are Netflix exclusives. So.
Well, yeah, if you look.
I'm sure that number is just astronomical.
If you just take streaming services, which includes Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, and I don't have the list of the rest, just those alone 160 scripted shows. So that is only 22 shows less
than broadcast.
Than all of broadcast and cable in 2002.
That's how it is.
That's just the online services.
And they're only counting like what would be a scripted TV sort of series. They're not counting like all the movies and stuff, right?
No movies,
this is just the
no
series.
reality shows, no whatever, just shows that are scripted. So the rest of it doesn't count.
Well, if you added the rest in, it's why we have a lot in our queue, but then you just can never really get through it.
So if you feel like you can't keep up, there's a reason why you feel that way. There is a soul-crushing amount of TV being produced. I have found myself suddenly just going back to a great love of just watching movies. It's 2 hours. I'm done. I did it. That's it. Like, I'm just done. Like, that's all. Like, you start a TV show and it's like, all right, there's 10 episodes. They're an hour each. Am I willing to commit to this show?
That's a thing you have to risk. And there's still a difference between broadcast television and the numbers you have to watch with that compared to Netflix and online. It still gives you at least a shorter amount of episodes, which is better.
It's true. It's wild, though. Like, look at that numbers. 495 scripted shows.
Know what we need to do now, right?
Quit our jobs and watch TV full time?
Start watching.
All right. You first, Nikki.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here! Roger that.
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, how do you feel about a Ford Bronco?
A Ford Bronco?
Yeah, how much would you pay for me to put you in a Ford Bronco this Christmas?
I think I learned to drive in a Ford Bronco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a friend had one.
This is amazing. I don't think Ford actually makes...
Do they make them anymore?
Broncos anymore. No, but there is, and this blows my mind, there is a shop called Gateway Bronco. They're based in Illinois. They have signed a deal with the Ford Motor Company, and here's what they do. They are rebuilding, quote unquote, classic Ford Broncos. They are literally remaking Broncos. So if you wanted
one, you could buy one. Whoa, those are expensive.
If you wanted, they will make you this blows my mind. They will make you a brand new old Bronco.
They look awesome.
It's crazy.
So you can get I think it's called a Fuley, and that's $120,000. A Coyote edition, $150,000. A modern day Warrior edition, which is $180,000.
The interior is built to original specifications with leather upholstery and a modern chassis components and suspension. So the idea is it really is like its internal workings are a modern car, but it will look exactly like an old school Bronco.
I've seen a few people do that with pickup trucks. Like you buy one that looks really old, you make it really modern inside and try to classy it up and try to make it look better. But those are expensive.
Yeah. Now, Ford is they're bringing the Bronco back in 2020.
So is Ford okay with all this? I'm sure they can't say yes or no, really.
Yes, they can, actually.
Because they're putting the name Bronco in it?
This is not, because what they are not taking, necessarily old Broncos. They are making new ones. And so there was a law that was passed in 2015 called the Low Volume Vehicle Manufacturer Act. And apparently it involves, you have to license from the company, and it can be, I don't know all of the legal details, but they are making new old cars.
Huh.
Whoa.
And if you got the money for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, think about that. What if...
You can do anything if you got money like that.
It's true.
It's really true.
You actually get to a point where it's not about...
And this is not probably your main car. This is your fun car from the one time.
Car.
Yeah.
On the weekends, you're you know what? I remember when I was a kid, my dad had this whatever Bronco. And so I just had one made for me. So
I think they're built to custom too. So when you want one, you have to build it. Well, right. you order it as you would want it.
Right. You don't go to the dealership and get one. This is a handmade car for you. Nikki, you know what this is, don't you?
What?
You know what this is?
What is this?
This is people that haven't been told no. This This is their This is Netflix bringing their TV show back, and now we got somebody bringing their car back.
This is my problem with society.
This is why people can't say goodbye to their dying pets.
We can't just have a no. You can't just, I'm sorry, the car's been discontinued. Instead, you got this, and you're paying even more for it now than you would have in the first place.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
No's a no, and no one's saying that.
You need to get a little more angry about this, Nikki. You don't seem angry enough.
I don't have enough passion about a Bronco, so it's fine.
Well, please take some time and get worked up.
It's Friday. I'm kind of, want to just chill into the weekend.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Small, niche, N-I-C-H-E businesses.
That thing that
I never pronounce right, and even when I do, niche? I'm sure
I think it is.
Now we're on a topic.
Okay, so what about small businesses?
Because according to dictionary.com, it can be pronounced either way.
Really?
So I'm going with niche, even though it feels like it should be niche, but dictionary.com lists that first.
Sure. Okay, well, if you want to, and I'll just do the other one.
But, if we both do it each way, then both are being represented by the show.
Sure, switching back and forth. Okay, back to the business.
Okay, we were talking about that business that builds new old Broncos, right?
Yeah.
So what you see there is that businesses that for you, you're like, there's no business there. Like, that's not a thing. Somebody somewhere is not only doing it, but they're making money on it.
They're flourishing in it.
It's happening. And there's a man in Vermont who really wanted to have his own little business. He has two businesses, actually. He's got his main one that's like 25 miles from where he lives, and it does whatever. But what he has wanted to do is he does, like, on the side, he'll work on cars and trucks.
Yes.
So he wanted to build for himself a garage there where, like...
8,000 square feet. Like, it's a big garage.
But for a garage, that's not that big, though.
What he was saying is the business he had out of town was getting too crowded, and so he needed a garage on his property for that business to be able to handle, like, overflow and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
he wants a little space.
8,000 seems like very...
You know what, Nikki?
I'll tell you
what, like, not only are you the niche person, but you sound like the city.
Okay, that's it.
You sound like the city. Listen to me. I sound like a small businessman, and you sound like the city.
I'm a city girl.
Because I'm just like, hey, I just want to build this garage on my property. It's no big deal.
That's
and
not
Nikki's
a
like,
garage.
8,000 square feet. It's not a garage.
It's not a garage.
You're the city. You're the council.
That's more than a garage.
Council person.
So he was trying for the last 10 years to get permission to build this on his property, and they've been denying him and basically put a wall up to, not physically, but like, figuratively, to keep him from being able to do this.
Which leads to another small business.
Mm-hmm.
This small business owner went and hired another small business owner, a person that is unwilling to be named, but he paid them $4,000 to craft for him a large sculpture of a hand holding aloft its middle finger and only its middle finger.
So you take that as it is.
It's a 700-pound. It's a 700-pound block of pine wood that is perched atop a 16-foot pole. That pole is lit like a flag at night,
so everybody can see.
Not only do you see it if you're just driving past during the day, at night, it's a real statement piece.
So he is sending that that's his statement to the city?
He has placed that so that the finger is facing the city, and it is on his property where he wants to build the garage. So and here's what I love. It's protected speech, so they can't tell him to take it down.
So eventually, this is his way to try to get them to let him have his 8,000 square foot garage.
You know what? That's a nice place.
That's bigger than houses.
I want the garage to be bigger than a house.
What's his house size?
He needs storage. He needs lifts.
That's like a couple of streets over used to be a plot of land where the guy who we looked it up to find the story, but the guy who wanted to build houses on the land, the city wouldn't let him have lots of a certain size to be able to sell them to like a builder and stuff. And so after years and years of this battle, he finally said fine, and he put a sign up, which is what I saw when I drove by, for making it into a pig farm, which is the grossest thing that you could put in a residential area. But
right. He
would have been allowed to have done that, and that made everybody else around him mad. And so then I think finally the city caved after threatening to just, okay, fine, we'll just put a pig farm. like a rendering one or whatever where there's like overflow, all that stuff.
If you've ever driven around a pig farm,
you know when you're there.
1, they may be about to kill you. 2, it is wretched.
Yeah, and so he put a sign up with this cute little pig just right on the sign. I thought, this guy's smart. You gotta work the city, and he did.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now all of a sudden you're back on the business side.
Well, okay, for him.
Councilperson,
I don't know. I'm just saying that an 8,000 square foot garage is not a garage. That's a business thing. And I'm sure they should have let him have it, but that's not a garage.
I hear the sound of big government, but I'll bet you what? I'll bet you if this was something you wanted, you'd be like, oh, it's fine. It's an 8,000 square foot pony facility.
Pony facility?
Whatever.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
But they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
You guys know that Nikki is incredibly passionate about space. Space things, going to space, talking about space technology,
now, hopefully
dying on Mars.
My goal, is that
Your
it?
goal.
Now, hopefully you've listened to the Riot enough that you can tell that he is being sarcastic.
Is he?
And I never want to go to space. Never, ever, ever, ever.
See, I think you're just saying that.
No, I mean it.
I think you want to go to space so badly that you
I'm
have
embarrassed?
No, I think you've let go of your dream because you're like, it'll never happen.
No, I don't want to.
Don't want to let go of the dream?
No, I don't want to go to
You're
space.
right, Nikki. Don't let it die. Don't let it die.
I don't want to. I've never had a dream for that. I don't like space movies. I don't like shows set in space. I don't enjoy anything in that area.
And the reason she doesn't like them is because she feels like it's not a fair representation of how space will actually be.
Because I'm not in it.
Because come on right now. So all the space talk this morning because yesterday the VSS Unity launched, and it brought the Virgin Galactic company back to space tourism. They took some people into space, but here's the big argument.
But they go to, like, mostly space? Or
that's the argument.
It's not actually really space?
Nikki, you go ahead and explain it. You're a space fanatic.
Oh,
Tell
you don't
them how
want
it
to hear
works.
I'm going to sound so stupid, and I don't think I want to.
You know what it is?
It's only if you go up high enough, like with the curvature. Mm-hmm. And so you have, like, you're kind of there, but you're not really, because you're not going past that.
So that's the big argument, is they're not technically in orbit. It's what you call a suborbital flight.
You're way up there, but you're not in space.
Right. And so the argument is, if it's suborbital, is it space?
Yeah.
And it is kind of fascinating to read because technically space is considered to be about 100 kilometers, and they only went 82.68 kilometers. And you're like, what's 20 kilometers? Here's something fascinating that I didn't know. It takes approximately 32 times more energy to go to 100 kilometers than it does to go to 80.
So they're cheap. They're being cheap.
Okay, like, let's be clear.
Wait, what did you sign up for?
Getting to
What did you
82
sign up
kilometers
for?
is not cheap.
What did you sign up for? Did you sign up to go to space?
Yeah.
Or did you sign up to go to close enough?
Well, according to a lot of people, they say that it is space.
I know they technically count it as that, but for those who have been actually into space, they're like, no, that's not space.
Right. And I mean, the 100-kilometer line is called the Kármán line, which is used by the World Air Sports Federation. But even that, some people say, nah.
Ain't right.
Nah, that's not high enough.
We live in a day and age where people play word games. And I just want to make sure that in the fine print, the people who spent all that money to go up into space were actually knowing where they were going.
I'm sure they probably told them.
Yeah.
And to be clear, in a suborbital flight like that, you're seeing the curvature of the Earth.
Yes, and that's
you're
where
seeing quote unquote black sky.
They say if you see the curvature, then you're kind of like there.
That's like high.
That's pretty much what you'd have if you went up there. So
Let me put it this way: there are very few of us that have been that high.
Sure.
I mean, in certain states, they're like, bro, I get high all the time.
It's
know
medical
what I'm saying?
high.
You know what I'm talking about?
And you might have thought that you went to space, but you really just got on a normal plane, and that was to go see your parents.
Right.
So for the holidays.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I do not really feel the need to spend the money to go to do that.
That's because you don't have enough money yet. Nikki, we have got to get that lawsuit going.
I just
we
need
have got to
disposable
sue
money
our
like
way
that.
into money for space.
Well, if you thought you were actually going to space and they didn't disclose where you were actually, the little bit lower than that, you could have sued for that.
Hey, just a quick look at some of what we're missing out on. Custom-built Broncos, old new Broncos from Ford, but not Ford. And then we're missing out on space.
Trips to see the curvature of the Earth.
Come on.
What
right?
else is next?
You know what? Don't discriminate against the Earth. Planets have curves, okay?
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
It is the Riot, and we are so privileged to have this guy
Yes.
be a
with
part
us.
of the proceedings.
And I was actually really glad we could talk with you before Christmas, too. So great to have Jeremy from Tiger Drive on. And if you want to hop on, too, you can watch this. If you go to Radio U Riot on Facebook or Radio U, you can see Jeremy, too, as we talk with him.
I'm still excited about the Christmas mention. Jeremy, you
Yay!
look like you're almost wearing a Santa hat, bro.
I'm very close to Santa-ing
Yeah.
right now. This is about as close as I get.
What are is it leaves on your shirt or a starburst or what is it?
These are just like little flowers.
Flowers. Okay. Very
flowers.
nice. And it looks good with the beanie. It looks good with the hat.
Okay,
Thank you.
I mean, real talk. Did you pick that
Yes.
out or did your wife pick it out?
I picked it out.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief, I am very, very, very interested in fashion.
Sure.
As
Okay.
weird and like cliche as I feel like that is these days, I try my best to pick out most of my outfits.
Well, we had a conversation earlier this week, and we were talking about how, like, Obi, for some reason, we were talking about clothes and sweatshirts, and Obi couldn't remember the shirt that he put on that day, like a couple of hours ago. Like, he couldn't remember what was actually on him. And so then that led to the discussion of, are we outfits people, or are we just like, oh, it's just a shirt you put on that day? You are an outfit person.
Yeah.
Do you think it's wrong that I can't remember the shirt I had on?
No.
Okay.
As long as you remember to breathe and eat during the day, I think that's pretty much all you gotta.
Yeah, well,
I gotta take care.
Stop by and see me. You'll notice that neither one of those appear to be problems these days.
You're
so I think we'll
fine,
be just
you're
fine,
fine.
right? So, Jeremy, come on, let's talk Christmas, dude. What do you want for Christmas this year? What's going under the tree?
Christmas. Well, I don't know if some people know from social media, but my wife and I went through a journey for cancer last year around this time.
Yeah.
So last year, this time it was really crummy, just like a lot of stuff going on. So this year, I'm actually taking her to Paris.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh,
yeah.
that is so
So,
sweet.
What do you want under the Eiffel Tower this year?
That's true. The Eiffel Tower tree. Actually, I think,
To be
Obi,
honest-
that's the thing. That's all of
okay.
it.
All right.
Yeah. To be honest, we're just kind of trying to save all our money and spend it all when we get there. So.
Yeah. Oh, and that'll build new, good, nice Christmas memories. So, oh, that's
Absolutely.
so sweet.
It's going to be fun.
So what are you're
How
going?
come we never go to Paris, Obi? Come on.
Because, Nikki, we spent all our money on these T-shirts.
That's true. Our outfits.
Yeah. It's all that fashion money that we
Oh,
spent.
that's exciting. That'll be so much fun.
So when
Yeah,
you
it's
go
gonna
to
be cool.
you go to Paris, like what's on the books? Like what do you want to see?
Well, we're going to do Paris, obviously. So my wife found out that during the month of January, apparently there's we're not 100% sure if it's for real yet. It's just kind of hearsay at this point. But apparently there's like a countrywide, like 70% off sale during that particular month.
Okay, dude, that
So-
sounds way made up. Like I don't want.
That's what I was told. We've got some friends. They just so happen to be the travel agent that told us that.
Man,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It is getting worse, dude. It's getting worse.
I think you
I'm only
should
kidding.
confirm. Like, you're already going, but has anybody else
no.
been to Paris in
He's
January?
He's going to Paris, Indiana, and he doesn't know it. They're like, yeah, every year they have a huge sale.
70% off sale. Maybe they do. Maybe it's like a tax thing or it's a tourism thing.
Yeah.
That's what we heard. Seriously, that there's some big kind of influx of new stuff, and so they just kind of get rid of all of it. I guess it's like their Black Friday happens for a few weeks.
Because Jeremy, one time I went to a different country and they're like, "Oh, everybody there speaks English. You'll be fine, totally fine." And then when I got there, and that was not true. So I just want you to be aware, so you don't have any problems, because they might be just trying to get you there.
Might be just something that they say.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is Jeremy with Tiger Drive. So we found he's going to Paris for Christmas.
Dude, congratulations. Well, he's going in January,
Yes.
but that is his Christmas present. Now, but here's the thing, though. Listen, I know how the system works, where you tell your wife's like, I don't want anything for Christmas. We're going to Paris. I don't want anything for Christmas.
Which means
I don't want you to put anything under that tree for me for Christmas. If I find something under that tree for me, you're in big trouble, but not as big a trouble as you'll be in if there's nothing there.
It's a trap. Do you feel like it's a trap?
I don't know. My wife actually is like the biggest budget person on earth.
Okay.
She's kind of like the budget monger. So I feel like if I bought something, she would be like, "Where's the receipt? This is $24.97, which we could have went through me buying 4 baguettes in the
Paris.
Louvre."
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, you can always do like, luggage or something that you can use for the trip. So then it kind of still counts as Paris.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I might sneak a few things in there, but I can't say because she'll probably watch this later.
Okay. All right. Well, at 70% off, I would just wait till you get your luggage in Paris. I wouldn't take anything with me.
I feel like it's like the duty-free thing, like Paris is just duty-free in January.
Whole time. So, aside from the fact that you're going to Paris, I hear that you're in a band called Tiger Drive. What has been going on with Tiger Drive?
So much has been going on. So, as some people may have known, we kind of had a weird year. Like, we put out a few singles, and then Instagram's been kind of all over the place. So the biggest news has been that we're partnering with some people that are going to kind of help bring everything together. So we just got like a new graphic design manager who's like really awesome at making everything that I think look cool.
Yeah.
So we're doing like all these fun, really cool photo shoots, and we're doing a music video for a new single that'll come out in January, like early February time. So it's going to be really great. We've got another show coming up that actually hasn't been announced yet, but it's in Universal Studios for Rock the Universe on February 2nd in Orlando.
Awesome.
So just a ton
Paris
of really cool
and
stuff.
Orlando, Jeremy.
Who is this guy?
Who
is this guy?
That sounds awesome.
Dude, we're doing New Year's Eve in New York too.
Oh, yay.
You know what?
Just shaking his head, Obi. He's just shaking his head.
I don't want to hear about
outfits. We don't know you anymore, Jeremy.
Yeah.
We don't know you.
You know what, Jeremy? I'm going to be wearing last year's T-shirts and hanging out in my living room.
In your basement.
And that's for December, January, and February. So I don't want to talk to this guy anymore.
Well, that's all right.
That's awesome.
So you're going to Rock the Universe, dude. I will tell you, I was at Rock the Universe 2 years ago. You got to get them to get you like the behind the scenes,
the pass,
move to the front of the line kind of stuff when you're there, dude. I went when there was a hurricane, so no one was there.
You actually didn't need the pass
because
no one came. It was shutting down.
That's a true story.
It is.
It's a true story. So
they're like, you can stand in line by yourself, but no one else is going to be there.
Until we closed the park down, there was literally no one there.
We went on a Friday night. It was closed Saturday. They canceled Rock the Universe on Saturday, but Friday night it was open. And seriously, dude, I don't think I waited more than like 5 minutes in any line. I have done literally everything in Universal Orlando.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, the people in Florida thought the hurricane was awesome, too.
That part was awesome, okay? The no waiting in line part was awesome.
So, okay, Jeremy, you guys are doing Rock the Universe. Anything else on the, horizon for Tiger Drive we should know about?
Other than new singles, just kind of keep close because everything from branding, and we're kind of setting everything up for a really, really busy 2019. We just signed with a booking agent this year, so we're kind of like working through markets, definitely trying to hit Columbus and some neighboring states. So it's going to be like a big like show year for us.
Okay.
If you guys know, like, obviously you guys know 21 Pilots, and you guys know like the band Mute Math. but we actually partnered with their lighting director, who kind of came up with all their cool like lighting rig concepts and stuff. And he's become a good friend of ours, and he's kind of helping us put together like a really dope show.
Yay.
So we've got like a lot of cool stuff, but it's no longer just kind of like my brainchild and me trying to figure things out in my garage. We've got like a team now, so it's going to get really, really awesome really, really quickly. So
awesome.
I'm pumped.
Well, that's Jeremy from Tiger Drive. Dude, we're excited about all the trips that you get to take.
Yay.
And I guess we'll just live vicariously through your status updates.
It sounds fun, though. And I mean, it'll be an amazing time. And, of course, the new song, Save Me, which you can request on Radio U, has been doing wonderful. So it's available to vote for the most wanted. Awesome. And if you just want to hear it, just text us and let us know.
All right. Well, Jeremy, thanks for spending some time with us today, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a good time in Paris, Indiana. It's going to be awesome. I know it is.
I heard everything's free, so you're fine.
85% off.
Oh, it's going to be great. But have a good Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man.
All right, you too.
The Riot, turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
Just a side note, I would totally like some pizza right now.
Sound good?
Yeah, it's just not available anywhere. Hey, Joel, thanks for texting us. And you know what? I want to reward Joel for reaching out and being a part of the riot.
No, but Joel, we already talked about our one space thing for the morning. We don't have room for another spot.
You know what, Nikki?
What?
Don't act like
Joel, you should have saved it for Monday.
So fired up about this. Joel is texting, wanting to know if we saw that there's a Star Trek Discovery Season 2 trailer. And listen, I'm only talking about it because, one, Joel, and two, I know that all of you have got CBS All Access.
Oh, yeah.
And you're so excited about their exclusive streaming options.
That you just cannot wait for us to talk frame by frame about this trailer.
Man.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Come on, Nikki, sing it. For someone that hates Star Trek, you sure can't sing along.
My dad watched it. That's my dad's fault.
Well, you know what? Me and your dad should hang out sometime.
Including this, I remember this one episode with the things that look like a little fluffy ball, the little tribble guys.
The tribbles.
Yeah, because I had a purse that looked like that. It's like, hey.
Tribble purse.
So what about the new season?
Oh, yeah. It's coming. Actually, when is it coming? In January. They put out a new trailer for it. And you know what? I'll give them credit.
Does it look
looks pretty good. Though I'll also say that it's not very hard to make a trailer look good.
Well, you could put all the good stuff in the trailer.
That's exactly right.
And then you have a whole bunch of nothing after it. But you still have a whole season to fill up.
So it was very hard to get me to care very much about Star Trek Discovery. And so I love how at the very end of the first season of Star Trek Discovery, they were like, hey, whoops, we just bumped into the Enterprise. And there's Mr. Spock.
So they're trying to pull you in with that?
Totally. They totally are. They're like, hey.
Is it Spock bait?
Don't say we don't have the good stuff. We got it. We got what you're looking for. Watch it. Watch it. Please, will you guys watch it? So they want us to watch it.
So are you going to watch it?
Are you
going to do what you do where you watch a couple episodes?
You know, I watched the whole first season of Star Trek Discovery. So, yeah, I mean, probably.
You don't still pay for All Access, do you?
Yeah, because I really like that follow-up they did to The Good Wife, and it's only available on CBS.
Now, I hear a tone.
You think so?
I just want to make sure, did you forget to cancel it, or do you still have it?
7-day free trial.
So you can go back and get a 7-day free trial?
I don't know about season 2, but they need to figure that out.
So you want to come back?
I have to find a way to watch it on the cheap.
You want me to do a 7-day free trial and I'll give you the login I make?
That's not a bad idea,
I can
actually.
do that.
Okay. All right. You know what?
Look at that, guys. That's teamwork.
Teamwork.
Teamwork right there.
That is teamwork.
Because no one
right
needs
there.
to be paying for CBS All Access. I won't let you do that.
Whoa. Check that out. A Star Trek Wrath of Khan zip-up hoodie?
Okay.
What do you think, Nikki?
Well, we did talk to Jeremy about outfits.
We did.
So are you going to buy a new hoodie?
I'm looking into
What
this.
does it look like?
Like nerd stuff.
I know that, but like, what's the color?
How about this stuff?
I think it's a burgundy. Is it a burgundy? What color is it?
It is. It's a reddish.
It's a reddish color.
You really want to see it? Here, let me send it over to you. Because you know what, Nikki, it's not too late for you to.
No, I bought your Christmas present already.
No, spend more on me.
Oh, to give you something else?
Hey, look, what did I find? What did I find?
Oh, don't get that. You can't have that.
What did I find for you last night on Slick Deals? What did I find?
Last year for Christmas, Obi got me a Blu-ray for this old movie that I watched online one day years ago called Space Camp. And Space Camp, like we were talking about it then last year, just randomly. And I said, oh, yeah, I wish I could go watch that again. He didn't know that I just went on YouTube and I watched a poor
some
quality,
janky pirated copy.
And that's all I needed to do. It was fine. And then he goes and buys me the Blu-ray for Christmas, but I already had watched it. I got it out of my system. I didn't need the Blu-ray.
Man, you could just literally hear a pin drop when she opened it. It was like...
No, it was glad that you thought of me, but I did return it because I didn't need it.
Hang on, that's weird. Did you wrap up a dumpster fire?
What's that?
Fantastic.
I'm going to throw this in there.
Well, last night on Slick Deals, which is a deals of the day kind of site that we look at, somebody posted it because it was 50% off, and I was like, how great would it be?
Only at Christmas. If you bought it for me again? Oh, no, you don't. You're not doing that.
How great would it be if you opened it up and I had gotten you Space Camp again? And I was like, look, you love this movie.
And it was cheaper this time. No, thank you. I do not want that.
You know what? I'm sad I thought of that now because, man, if I could have done that
Kept
on
that one to yourself,
the show,
yeah.
Just you open it up and it's Space Camp again, and it's just like, ha ha!
Well, we will be opening our presents soon for the riot. So what did we get each other? Is it a Star Trek hoodie? That's $34 on sale from $82.
Do you really think that's an ugly hoodie? Say it. Go ahead. Yes, you do.
I feel like it's a bold statement. I normally don't like to wear such bold patterns. Mm-hmm. So I would not wear that.
Well, it's not for you.
I don't know if I want to sit next to you.
Oh, no. I'll just tell you right now. I'm wearing it everywhere we go.
We go, right.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the riot. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki.
Yes?
What are your Christmas Eve plans right now?
I am having family over.
I was going to say opening Radio U merch under the tree.
Hopefully so, if I order by Sunday.
Better hurry.
No, I'm having family over because I'm going to make a meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want you to know you're at an elevated risk for heart attack
because of the
situation.
Stress, because of the worry.
According to Lund University, they looked at 283,014 heart attacks that were recorded in Swedish medical records over a 16-year period from 1998 to 2013.
Oh my gosh!
And here's what they found: on average, you get about 50 heart attacks a day. This, of course, in Sweden. But on Christmas Eve, you get 69.
Goes up more?
It's a 37% increase. And here's what they found. The time you are most likely to experience a heart attack over the Christmas season, Christmas Eve, 10 p.m.
But what if that's their customs? Like they have more stress?
Which one of us is going to have
not customs like that. No, like maybe Christmas Eve is like their big thing, and so that's a very stressful time.
What, they chug like a fifth of vodka and get on the treadmill?
And they do something.
Does that make you have a heart attack? And you smoke. You smoke and drink and get on the treadmill. That's a Swedish Christmas.
Actually, I think you get on the treadmill to learn to not have a heart attack.
No, but it's the only time that year, right?
That's the only time they do that?
That's what it is. All these people are getting exercise equipment for Christmas and overdoing it.
Or they're trying to build it all so that it's ready for Christmas. I don't know what their Christmas is like.
I don't know either.
But for here, I guess that's a time
they say
of
it's
stress.
The peak. Now, they say that peak heart attack time, 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve. But this says Christmas Day and the day after. The morning is the time you're most likely to have a heart attack.
Christmas morning?
Christmas morning. No. What I'm saying is that on the average day,
gotcha.
Morning hours are where you're most likely to have a heart attack.
During morning show hours?
Oh, I get that. Don't you?
I do.
The stress of being awake, of having to get in here.
The pressure.
Having to perform.
The space talk.
The difficult people you work with.
Yeah.
Like it all comes together.
It does to really a point.
A spike. But all that being said, they say that Christmas Day, that morning.
So be careful.
And the day after Christmas, you're less likely to have a heart attack in the morning.
So what are you supposed to do? Just be aware.
I guess.
Not stress out.
Take some time. Relax.
Take a nap. Sleep through Christmas Eve. And
maybe.
Don't worry about it.
Maybe you should. You should take it easy a little bit. Maybe lay off the boozy Christmas, Wait, because doesn't that make you more likely to have a heart attack?
Alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, I think alcohol, bad food, stress. I think stress is the biggest one.
It's the big one.
Which alcohol can make you more stressed, so.
Okay. All right. But people drink it to deal with stress?
It's a circle. It's a vicious cycle.
Well, I'll tell you. And
stay off the cycle
because that's also going to elevate. But maybe if you started getting on the cycle now, it would help your heart health.
Are those two doctors talking on the radio?
They seem very knowledgeable about
very informed.
Almost nothing.
About medical stuff and Sweden.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Planets have curves, okay?